What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we are going to be making Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Copycat Protein Bars. Honestly guys, these are my favorite protein bars ever. They're better than anything that I can ever get in the store. I honestly prefer making these. They make great breakfasts, great desserts, great snacks. I mean, you can use them, in whatever way you want, post-workout. I just really love these protein bars because they literally taste like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, which are one of my favorite chocolates. And we obviously don't want to be eating that much sugar. We don't want to be eating that much processed food. So these are a great alternative to implement, high protein, good fats into our diet while also getting that awesome dessert peanut buttery taste that we're looking for. So let's go over the ingredients for what we need in these protein bars, and then we will get started making them. The first ingredients, we're gonna start off with the dry ingredients. The first things we're gonna need is milk powder. So I make these with a non-fat milk powder. This is the brand that I get. This is Anthony's non-fat milk powder. I get this on Amazon, so I'll go ahead and link that down below for you guys. But the reason I have this coconut milk powder here is just to show you that you can substitute the milk powder if you are vegan or lactose intolerant. And this is the brand that I have at home. I am not sponsored by any of these brands. These are just things that I keep in the cabinet at home. So we're gonna be using 3/4 of a cup of this bad boy today. The next ingredient that we're going to need, guys, is a protein powder. So I use this right here, which is Premier Protein. Now this is a protein powder that I had bought a long time ago, so I bought it in bulk, so I have a lot of this and I want to use it. But I do recommend that you guys go for a cleaner protein powder, not one with so many additives. But I find that vanilla protein powder works best in this. So the cool thing about this is you can use different kinds of protein powders. If you're vegan, stick to pea protein or a vegan protein powder. If you're not and you can tolerate lactose, then I would use a vanilla whey protein powder. Now I have used a mixture of egg white protein powder and vanilla whey protein powder in these bars, and it turned out awesome, but I don't have any of the egg white protein powder, so I'm gonna link down below which egg white protein powder I used. So we're gonna need 1/2 cup of that. So you can either use a full 1/2 cup of one type of protein powder, or you could do 1/4 cup of one protein powder and 1/4 cup of another protein powder. So in that previous case, I did 1/4 cup of egg white protein powder and 1/4 cup of the vanilla whey protein powder. So mix it up. Let me know what type of protein powders it is that you guys use. You guys can also, with the milk powder as well, you can use 1/2 of the coconut one and 1/2 of the regular milk powder and see if that works. It might give you more of that coconutty taste if that's what you're after. The next ingredients are going to be the wet ingredients. So the first wet ingredient we're gonna need, which is obviously the star of the show and we can't make it without it, is peanut butter. Now I have used the organic peanut butter, guys, to make this, trying to be more health conscious, but here's the problem with the organic peanut butters, okay? They come with that layer of oil on top, and then you gotta mix it, and I notice when you then get the finished product, it doesn't come out the right consistency. So that's why I, bite the bullet, and in these I use the store-bought creamy peanut butter powder, creamy peanut butter. If you can find an organic peanut butter without that, oil layer on top that comes mixed just like that, then I would go for those. Those would work too. But that's what we're gonna be using here. Also, if you're allergic to peanuts, you could use almond butter. I haven't personally made it with almond butter, but that might be an option for you as well. So the next ingredient we're gonna need is extra virgin olive oil. So a lot of the bars that I saw on the market, guys, were made with virgin olive oil. They were made with sunflower oil, grapeseed oil. I did make it with sunflower and grapeseed oil as well in the past. I don't really find much of a difference in taste, and so in this one I'm just sticking with the extra virgin olive oil. This is just an organic one that I got from Aldi, so use whichever oil it is that you want to use. Now you don't want to use some oils like sesame oil or maybe the other stronger oils, because it will overpower the taste of your bars. So you just wanna make sure you use something, you know, with a more neutral flavor, or one of my recommendations that works well in this category. So the next ingredients we're going to need are the liquid sweeteners. Now, the two that I use in this are raw honey and maple syrup. Now, I used to just make this with raw honey and they work out great. If you only have raw honey, don't worry about it. But what I found was, surprisingly, what ended up happening one time was I ran out of honey. So you're gonna need 1/3 cup of honey, and I didn't have enough for 1/3 cup. So what I ended up doing was topping it off with the maple syrup. And guys, that was a game changer in terms of taste and consistency. I mean, wow, it made a huge difference. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. We need 1/3 cup. So we're gonna do 50-50 parts of the honey and the maple syrup. This is raw honey I get from Aldi, and this is the big jug of maple syrup that I get from Costco. Best value, $9 for this. So not a wet ingredient, guys, but another ingredient that makes these bars taste fantastic and gives it that chocolatey, you know, touch to it without adding really any sugar at all are these right here, the Lily's chocolate chips. Now, why I choose this brand, and no, I'm not sponsored by this brand, and hey, Lily's, you know, if you'd like to sponsor me, please, I wouldn't complain at all. But why I love these is because they are made with unsweetened chocolate, erythritol, chicory root fiber, milk, cocoa butter, and sunflower lecithin, as well as natural flavors and stevia extract. So these are used these are made with natural sweeteners and artificial sweeteners like erythritol, but they are not made with sugar. And guys, you wouldn't even taste the difference. I mean, I love these. I could eat these right out of the bag and they are awesome. So this is what we're gonna top our bars with. Again, you could just leave them the peanut butter one and top them with other things. I know some people will top them with nuts, with dried fruit like raisins or cranberries or dried blueberries. I mean, the great thing about the peanut butter, you know, bar itself is it's a great canvas to add whatever it is that you guys like to these bars. So let's get making. Okay guys, so the first thing we're gonna focus on is the wet ingredients. So I am using my KitchenAid stand mixer. I'll show you guys that in a second. So I'm just grabbing the bowl attachment for that, and we're gonna start off with our wet ingredients. So the first thing I like to do to prevent them from sticking, because sometimes you can get a little bit of the dough sticking at the bottom, is just to spray it with olive oil. So just a quick spray, and then what I like to do is take a paper towel and evenly spread the olive oil all around, ensuring that the bottom gets the most covered. Now I'm gonna keep this on the side here. We don't like to waste paper, and I'll show you why in a second. So we're gonna be measuring out the peanut butter. So I like to take this as well, and also to help the peanut butter come out into the bowl, I'm going to just spray a little bit of olive oil in there, and then take my paper towel and spread it evenly around. So we need 1.25 cups of peanut butter. And guys, I'm just using dry measuring cups for everything. You don't need to use the wet measuring cups. So just a 1 cup measure, I'm gonna fill that up with peanut butter. And make sure to just press it down in there so you know you got a full cup in there. All right, so that's 1 cup, so that's gonna go right in here. Make sure you scoop out all of the peanut butter. Sometimes you might get a little bit on your shirt when you do that. And then I'm not gonna grab another 1/4 cup measuring cup. I'm just gonna measure out like 1/4 straight in here. So that's usually like 1 to 2 tablespoons. Sorry guys, I'm getting it all over myself, but there really is no clean way to do that. So that's what I mean just by like 1/4 cup, and then I'm going to take that out, put that right into the mix. Don't be afraid to use your fingers. They're your best tools to get the rest of it out of there. All right, and then we're gonna just go ahead and set this aside. Next guys, we're gonna take our sweetener. So just to show you what I mean, I'm going to take the 1/3 cup measuring cup, and I'm also gonna spray this down with oil because the honey tends to stick to that like crazy, so I want to make our lives easier. So we're just gonna get a nice coating of oil on that. We can put our peanut butter to the side. And then I am just going to fill it halfway up with the honey, just like that. And then fill the rest of it up with the maple syrup. Awesome, set those to the side. And then this goes straight in here without making a mess. All right, set that to the side. And then last but not least of the wet ingredients, we're gonna need the oil. So that's 3 tablespoons of oil. 1, 2, 3. Put that to the side. Now our wet ingredients are done, so we can put those to the side, guys. And then I'm gonna grab another bowl for the dry ingredients. So we're gonna start off with the milk powder, 3/4 of a cup, guys. So 1/2 cup and 1/4 cup. All right, just like that. Making sure to level it out. You don't need the 1/4 of a cup anymore. Put that away. And then we just need a 1/2 cup of the protein powder. 1/2 cup right there, straight in here. And then we can put this away. And then guys, what I'm gonna do is just take a fork and mix the dry ingredients together. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just wanna make sure that they are thoroughly combined. All right, now we're ready for the magic tap and we're ready to start mixing. So we're gonna take our wet ingredients and we're gonna come over here to our KitchenAid mixer. We're gonna stick that in. And I forgot the attachment, so I will go look for that. So now we're just going to attach this. Now, if you don't have one of these guys, that's totally fine. You guys can use your hand. It may just require a bit more mixing, or you can use one of those handheld mixers as well. So we're just gonna attach that on, and then we're gonna turn this on. Now, you wanna start at the lowest setting so you don't get splatter everywhere, and then I'll show you guys what we're doing right now. So guys, we are just gonna turn this on at the lowest setting. And then get that mixed in, and we can turn it up a little bit. And we're just waiting for the wet ingredients to combine before we add the dry ingredients. So you see how that's come together? Awesome. All right, now we can add the wet ingredients. All right guys, so I just have my wet ingredients here and I'm just gonna add them in little by little. You don't have to be like super slow about it. You can just gradually add them in. And then as it starts to mix more and more, you can add it in faster. And you are gonna get a cloud of smoke, it's okay. And you just wanna make sure you get all of that in there. Awesome. Now guys, we're just letting it mix up. We are looking for a Play-Doh texture, guys. So we're just gonna let that mix for a second. And that should be about good. You see that? How it's coming together as a ball. Yep, that's exactly what you want. Yep, perfect. Once it starts grabbing onto all of it. All right, so we could turn this off now. All right guys, so we're just gonna go ahead and remove this. All right guys, so we've got this out, and now all we wanna do is get the dough out and combine it into a ball. So you're looking for a Play-Doh-like consistency, a peanut butter Play-Doh ball. And you're gonna need to use your hands to kind of get the rest of it out, which is fine. That happens normally. You will have some sticking to the bottom, so just try to get as much of it out as you can. Now, you're looking for a ball that's not too moist or not too dry. It just kind of comes together very easily. So this is the consistency that you are looking for, guys. Just like a very, bouncy, flexible Play-Doh-like ball. And you guys can go ahead and taste this now. Perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and set this back in there. Now we're just gonna grab our container. I like to use a glass container with a cap on it. This is just one of those Pyrex glasses, 6 measuring cup glass trays with the cover on top. So we're just gonna go ahead and open that up. And then guys, we're gonna take some parchment paper and stick it in here. Then what we wanna do is grab our peanut butter protein Play-Doh ball and put it right in here. And then we just wanna press it down to conform to the size of the glass. Don't worry if it cracks on you, just mold it into place. You see, this is what we're looking at, so I'm just pressing it into place until it molds. And guys, you can make these as thick or as thin as you want. So guys, all you're doing is just pressing it into place just to fit the mold. So this is kind of what we're looking for right here, just like that. Yep, it'll have your hand marks in it, but that's totally cool. Now here's where the fun part comes. Once you've got it molded, you can add your toppings. So like I said, guys, go ahead and add whatever toppings you want. I'm adding these chocolate chips, so you're just gonna pour them in there till you get enough to cover the top, as much or as little as you like. And I'm telling you guys, go ahead and try these. These are really good. Russell Stover makes some too. Really whichever chocolate chips you want. If you want to use the regular chocolate chips, that's fine too. I just like to use those to minimize the amount of sugar that I add into this recipe. And now you're just pushing it down gently with your hands. And then you want to add more to fill in the areas that don't really have much. And if you need to push them down individually, I like to push them down the pointy side down. All right, you guys, and that is the final result. Now, I know it may be tempting to eat these right now, but we need to let these chill in the fridge, harden a little bit for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then we will be back to cut them and taste them. All right, guys, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, you guys, it's been about 30 minutes, so let's check these bad boys out, all right? So we're just gonna go ahead and open this up, and we're gonna go ahead and lift it out from the container and check that out, guys. Look at those. So what I like to do is I like to cut it down the middle and then cut it into 5 to 6 rows depending on how much I can get out of it. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna get 1, 2, 5 rows. So that made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually. So that made about 12 bars, guys, all right? Now let's get an up close look. So they may be still a little fragile. If you want, you can keep them in the fridge for longer, but as they stay in the fridge longer, they will harden more. Now check that out, guys. Look at these guys. I mean, they are just amazing. I'm honestly so excited to try this out. So let's do it. Guys, I'm telling you, these are everything I promised them to be and more. They are so delicious. They are creamy, they are smooth, velvety, peanut buttery, chocolatey, and they are good for you too. They've got loads of healthy fats, high protein. It's just, you can't ask for more when you're talking about a protein bar. So, you know, make these guys. They're way cheaper than getting them out. I mean, you're gonna pay about $3 or $4 each of these. And like I said, for a couple bucks, you just made 12 at home. And they are just that good, guys. All right, you guys, if you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like this video, and ring that notification bell so you get notified on when I release my next video. And there's gonna be plenty of more stuff coming out of my kitchen, and we're also gonna be going into the lab pretty soon, so stay tuned for more, guys. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.